All right, everyone. Well, official hello and welcome to Awesome Inc. It's actually our 10th demo day, our 10th bootcamp program. So very excited to have you all here for this occasion, and really pumped to have a chance for you all to get to know our students and see the projects that they've been working on. My name is Nick Such. I'm the director of Awesome Inc. U, which is our training program here at Awesome Inc. If this is your first time interacting with Awesome Inc., we've been here since about 2009, based in Lexington, and we exist to help people pursue their definition of awesome. Some of those folks are entrepreneurs who want to start their own companies. Others are aspiring software developers who want to go work for that next great startup or big company or build products in a consulting firm. So that's part of why we're here today. That side of it is to help these folks who are on this journey in their career, leaving a whole variety of past careers, diving into this field of technology and software development. So we're very glad to have the opportunity to share some of that journey with you today. So a little bit how the rest of the day is going to look. So we hope you've already had some lunch, whether you're with us here in person or joining virtually. We'll have a chance here for some introductions. So from our team at Awesome Inc., and we'll talk a little bit about our students. After that, they will have a chance to present to you to talk about each of their own journeys. And we like to think of this as the teaser trailer. And after that, they will have demo tables. So for folks who are joining us here in person, our employers, you'll have a chance to chat with each of the students one-on-one around the room. For those of you who are joining via Zoom, you'll have an opportunity to see those very same demos and actually chat asynchronously with our students. So we've got some links that we'll be providing in the Zoom chat for how you can see those demos and chat with our students afterwards. So a little bit about our bootcamp program and what this group has been through. So we have 12 student presenters today. And they've been with us for about 16 weeks. So that starts off remote. We kind of ramp up into these new skills. And then we were here full time for 12 weeks. So that's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm looking around the room. They're giving me eyes like, no, Nick, we were here way more than 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it was a very intensive 12 weeks. They put in a lot of work in that time. And that includes lots and lots of Slack messages. And we couldn't even count the number of Oreos consumed. Typically here at Awesome Inc., we're double stuff fans. We consider like the perfect Oreo. We've seen several different types of Oreos introduced, so we're going to have to find some equivalencies before we can really give you an official number on that. But it's been quite the journey that they've been through here. None of that would be possible without our instructors and staff. So I want to introduce a few key people today. So Justin, Ian, and Abram are our instructional team. And so giving them shout outs around the room. So Justin, Ian is in the back, and there's Abram. So Justin and Ian are with our students throughout the day, all day long. Abram runs our morning warm-ups, so algorithm challenges, data structures, things like that. We also have here today Mackenzie Haynes, our career coach. So for our employers who are here, you've probably chatted with Mackenzie at some point, but Mackenzie works with our students throughout the bootcamp program and afterwards on their job search. Stephen Rue is our marketing specialist. So if you heard about the bootcamp or you heard about this event, that was probably thanks to the work that Stephen does. And Jacqueline Benson is our graphic designer. In addition to providing graphic design assets for Awesome Inc. itself, Jacqueline provides some basic graphic design instruction for our students as well to help those website front ends look a little bit better. So thanks to everyone. Round of applause for all of our team. Thank you. So with no further ado, I actually want to pass it over to Justin Hall, who's going to talk a little bit more about the skills that our boot campers have learned in these past 16 weeks. Justin.
Cool, thank you. Thanks, Nick. The boot camp is an agile learning experience. We focus on gaining skills through projects and objectives. We want to grow your scope of knowledge through these challenges. throughout the 16 weeks. Our tech stack, which begins with pre-work, focuses on HTML, CSS, and kind of like the structure and process of how the soup is made. Then we move into the front end where we focus on JavaScript as their first scripting language, Bootstrap, and also React. When we make it through the back end in weeks 9 through 12, we focus on PHP, SQL, and Laravel. So that tech stack is mainly available so that you can pivot from it and learn other things. And then we have the finish line focus, which focuses on agile development in our final project. What kind of projects? Well, everything from basic brochure-based websites, to-do list managers, content management tools, apps, and sites that utilize third-party APIs like Google Maps, the Weather API, and other Google APIs that they use for their project. And what you're going to see today is the culmination of the last 16 weeks. So you'll get to see these 2-minute pitches, and you'll be able to also go and see the product for yourself at the different demo tables. Yeah, Nick, back to you.
So excellent. So as Justin mentioned, we're transitioning now into our quick pitches. And so what you're going to hear about from our students is this project that they really haven't had a whole lot of time. They've not spent the last 12 weeks working on this one project, but it's still pretty incredible how far they've gotten in just these last few weeks on their capstone project. So I'll tell you a little bit about themselves and a little bit about what they're working on. For those demo tables, as we mentioned, in person, you all will have a chance to go around the room, and online, we'll make sure you've got a link there in the Zoom chat. Here are our presenters for today. So we've got 12 students who will be sharing their projects. So to lead us off, I'd like to bring up our first presenter, Smith. Can you all help me to welcome Smith to the floor?
Hey everybody, I want to thank you guys for coming out today. My name is Smith, and if you're wondering, that is my first name. Prior to the bootcamp, I worked in management and I worked in manufacturing, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to achieve my goals in those in that career field, so I decided to make a change. I love tech and I love creating, so why not join the two, and boom, you have awesome ink there for me. So I decided to take this journey to become a web developer. This project that I'm presenting for you guys today is called Sapling. Sapling is a social budgeting web application. Now, if you guys are familiar with Venmo, Venmo is an app where you can send users money and add comments, and those comments are made public. I wanted to do something a little bit similar. I wanted to create an environment where you can create a goal, you can update the goal, you can share the goal, and you can comment on other people's goals and create a community where you're just sharing support. Now, in future iterations, I would love to have the ability to add images, have the ability to possibly donate money to other users whose goals you might share. And so, yeah, I'm really proud of what I made. And if you guys are interested in talking to me some more, I'll be at this table right over here.
All right, thank you, Smith. And up next, we have Rachel.
All right. Hey, everybody. Good to see you all today. My name is Rachel Ehlers. I graduated college in 2019 with a biology major. While I was in college, I was doing that major and kind of got to the end of my college career and was really liking the data, really liking the data interpretation, statistics, all of that I was working on. But I was not, I didn't have enough time to add to my major. So basically what I decided to do is graduate college, get a job at a tech company, and then do a boot camp. So that was kind of my 2-year plan. So this is why I'm here now. Today, what I have for you is a project called Equip. It is a basically a classified site for sports. So for local sports clubs, I did it for equestrian sports because that's what I'm interested in. So it's basically just a classified site for local sports clubs. Members of those sports clubs can log on, upload posts, make changes to those posts, delete posts, etc. And then they can also search for equipment that they might want from other people. I was waiting for Justin to do it. Okay. There we go. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so this is my main page here. As you can see, we have the search function. We have, once you're logged in, it tells you, hey, welcome with your name. You can go to manage my posts, which is on this next part here. And then here's kind of a more detailed portion of the website. So you can see the main page on the left side. You can see all the posts that you've created in the middle, and then you can see some details of your posts in that bottom portion, and also the interface for updating them on that top portion. That's kind of the extent of it. It's pretty basic, but it's all fully functional, so I'm happy about that. If you have any questions about it or you'd like to see more about the project, just come see me at the table. I'll be happy to answer them.
Hey everybody. So my name's Harris Green. I'd just like to thank you all for attending either in person or virtually. Just to give you a little bit of background information about myself, prior to the boot camp, I graduated college with a bachelor's in business, and then I immediately started working with AT&T as a sales consultant in Atlanta, Georgia. Once COVID hit, I was kind of at a crossroads with my career. I got moved to a remote position and I could continue with sales, or I could look for a different career paths. So I looked at a couple of boot camps in Atlanta, but nothing really stuck out to me. And that's until I moved to Lexington. I heard about the amazing things that Awesome Inc. does. And I thought that would be a perfect path for me. So now here we are at the end of the boot camp, and I would love to show you all how that was the perfect path in a culmination of the work over the past 16 weeks, which is my final project, TripShare. So TripShare is an app that's designed to consolidate all of the relevant information regarding an upcoming trip, mainly for a group of people. So usually whenever you have a group of people trying to get together, there's one person that gets pinned as the organizer, and they're responsible for a whole number of things, tracking everybody down, all of the expenses, and making sure everybody pays them back, etc. So I wanted to create an app that would be able to take all of that and put it into one nice space. And actually, its genesis is from me trying to plan a group vacation with friends from my college, and it was not going well. So that was my inspiration. So here's 3 screenshots from the actual app. The one to the far left is your main homepage where you can create a new trip and join an existing trip. Right below that is where you can see information about your trip. If you're the organizer, you're able to edit it. And then you can also click on more info to see all of the information about your trip as well as the expenses. The one in the middle is actually creating the trip. So you'll have your name, city and state, destination, start and end dates. And then the one to the far right is after you've created your trip, if you have certain costs associated with it, then you would be able to put those into those fields and they will render on your trip page so that everybody would be able to see those and edit them if they have their own. So that is a brief demo of my app, TripShare. I'd love to talk with you all more in depth about it. I'll be located straight back behind you all. I also have my contact information there, my email, LinkedIn, and GitHub. So that is it for me. Thank you all for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you.
Hello, no, let me take this off. Hello, my name is Stephen Littrell, and thank you all for coming out today. A little bit about me. My background is in architecture, and I actually have a degree in that from the University of Kentucky. And I was lucky enough to start working for a local nonprofit here in Lexington, the Living Arts and Science Center, while I was still in college. It was a great place to work. I did a little bit of everything there. I got to do marketing, graphic design, IT for the entire organization, teach classes, do field trips, even get to feed Speedy the corn snake every once in a while. So it was a great place to work, lots of fun. But when COVID came around, it hit us pretty hard. We had to shut down for a while because you can't really do a hands-on learning environment when you social distance. So it brought me to Awesome Inc. Bootcamp, where I get to, continue learning. I consider myself a lifelong learner. So it was a great place for me. The LASC was also the inspiration for my final project. We always wanted our grounds to be interactive for people. And I always thought it would be a great idea to have a scavenger hunt where people could go around, solve riddles, get clues, and while roaming the grounds. So when the final project came around, I thought, oh, why don't I expand this? So that brings me to City Scavenge. I like to describe it as a breakout room without a room, a scavenger hunt that takes you across the entire city. So you'll have several different options of scavenger hunts that you can do. And when you start one, it will load, you'll get your initial clue. I used Google Maps API and geolocations to show your current location. When you get close to one of those locations, you'll either be given your next clue, a riddle to solve, a fun activity to do, or a question to answer. And once you answer that question correctly, you'll be given your next clue, and so on until you get to your last clue, you solve that, and you've won the scavenger hunt. So I think it's a lot of fun. In the future, I'd like to add a social component to it where you can post, add fun photos, things like that. But if you have any questions about it or want to learn more, I will be at the back table. Again, my name is Stephen Littrell, and this was City Scavenge.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out and watching my demo. I'm Jake Mannino. Before this, so I graduated college in 2017. I was a comm major and a design minor, and I kind of got out and, I was working in the hemp industry. I was, editing a hemp podcast, selling CBD, and I was also working in the music industry. I was both as like a DJ producer, but also as like an artist manager and kind of setting up events. And I kind of, realized that, coding, is a great tool to be creative, and have it, a stable job, but then also I can integrate that back with everything I already care about. And so I decided to do this coding boot camp. And yeah, I learned a lot. And so for my final project, I did something called Loud Fog, and it's kind of inspired by SoundCloud. But one of the new trends that I noticed was that, there's a lot of VR and a lot of AR kind of gaming and development coming out. And I wanted to incorporate kind of spatial audio and ambisonics into kind of like a SoundCloud sort of site. And so basically what I did is, I used Google Resonance Audio SDK and Wave Surfer. And so Google Resonance, they have this software development kit that is for, it's basically for like a lot of VR and AR games, but it hasn't been really applied to just audio-based sites. And then I took Wave Surfer, which is what SoundCloud uses to create the actual waveform. And they go through each of the amplitudes and they kind of render that. So it can render differently on either device. They're not saving an image. And then you have effects that you can kind of pass through, like you can change the volume. And I kind of took Resonance's source code and integrated that with Wave Surfer in order to change kind of the XYZ of where you are as a listener relative to certain sound object locations. And so, yeah. Now, I'm still working on creating kind of user to track relationships and user to user relationships, which would be the next thing. And then also being able to save automations of kind of changing locations in the grid. And also had kind of crazy animations where like if you're not hovering on the page, it kind of rotates. And I kind of wanted that to kind of like pull people back into the page and like stay on it. Yeah, so that's basically what I have. Thank you guys for listening. And I'll be down there at that table in the corner if you have any more questions.
Hey guys, I'm Marquise. I graduated from sorry. Okay. I graduated from Eastern Kentucky with a degree in network security and electronics. I worked in IT for about 4 years, 2 years in Brazil, and I'm back here now. Between 2020, I got into more of data science and data analytics, and I kind of fell in love with that. So before the boot camp started, I was thinking like, I have friends that always talk about who's the best basketball player between LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan. Sorry, Michael Jordan. And I was thinking, why not build a website that brings in data analytics and web development together in one package? So I decided to create the website, the Three Goats. Not the best name in the world, but I'm still working on that. But it makes sense though. So with this website, you'll be able to compare and filter data that I grabbed from ESPN using Python and the Pandas package, and also compare that data just by a click of a button. Pretty easy, huh? So I did that, and I finished the first goal of my project, but I was thinking, well, I can do more. I can add more players. Maybe I can add Magic Johnson, or I can add what's another great basketball? Stephen Curry. Yesterday, somebody said Britney Spears, and I thought that was super funny. But you also can discuss your findings or your opinions with other people, so you can talk more about it. And yeah, that's my project. And if you want to talk to me, I'll be right in the corner over there, and you can reach me through these links.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out. My name is Walter Saygers. Before I joined Awesome EQ, I was in Teach for America, and I was a flight instructor. And what first got me into technology was I started a robotics program for my elementary students. And I did not know what I was doing, but I absolutely loved it. And they really loved it. Just being able to create and build was something that I wanted to keep on pursuing. So I chose Awesome EQ because I wanted a robust and efficient way to be able to get into the tech industry and get the introductions and understanding that I needed to keep on doing this for a career and the rest of my life. So the project that I worked on was sports ball. And what we focus on are obscure sports. So right now we're bringing people spike ball, can jam, cornhole, competitive putt-putt, with the idea that they wouldn't have to join an organization or an event or something that's really formal. It's more just being able to connect user to user based on your ability or your interest. And so, yeah, the whole kind of, when I was going through this project, what I really enjoyed was not just working with the tech stack and building and doing the code, but also getting your hands dirty with coming up with the idea and working on an MVP, coming up with personas and users. So really getting to see the different perspectives of what a product owner, a product manager, and a developer goes through to get that whole idea and picture. So it just kind of really helped put everything into perspective. And yeah, so that's sports ball. We're looking forward to the future. We want users to be involved, and in future iterations actually let them be able to contribute. So be on the lookout for Highlight, which will be coming to Lexington soon. And if you want to talk to me, I'll be in the back corner over there. We can talk code, obscure sports, or just story. Thank you all.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out today. My name is Eric Sparks. Before this, I used to work for Columbia Gas of Kentucky as a meter and regulation tech. That job being on call 24/7, 365, I realized that I was missing key moments with my family. So I started my own 3D printing business, right as COVID started. So I had an issue where I was thinking, what can I do to help? So at that time, I was producing PPE for the healthcare workers, and I hit every state donating materials. So that led me here to further my knowledge of the tech world. I had an issue of trying to keep up with inventory that I had as I was printing. So I had come up with this to keep track of all my inventory. I can view everything that I've got. I can add new filament as it comes in. And the most important thing for me was to be able to have a mobile view, because you're always out in a spot where an order comes in and you don't know exactly what you have. So with this, it makes life so much easier. I can edit the filament, I can delete it as it's used. And that was my project. Yeah, I'm Eric Sparks, and I'll be in between Smith and Walt back on the desk. And there's my contact information. Thank you.
Hey everybody, how you all doing today? I'm Reece Walter, and my project is the YOLO Fund by Silverman Bags. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I had a first career in operations and management. I started with a local fast casual restaurant with 2 locations here and helped them grow and develop from 2 to 14 locations, and help develop and grow the people and teams and implement processes that increased our visibility into our business and just increased efficiency and reduced redundancy from tasks our managers had to do that kept them off the floor. I came to Awesome Inc. Before that career in high school. I started trying to learn HTML. Taught myself to program my first little game on a TI-83. Everybody had fun with those graphing calculators. And then I went to school for business and kind of didn't really think a whole lot about going the tech route at the time. And I found myself utilizing technology in business quite a bit and really enjoyed it. So kind of want to take a little pivot and joined Awesome Inc. and got back into it because I really had a passion for it and wanted to be able to use that to help people achieve their dreams and increase their productivity. So what I've made for my final project is a stock trading app. So I was able to get real-time stock data from an API. Polygon.io was kind enough to provide that, and I built a mock trading platform. And you are a hedge fund manager who starts off with a fund with $500,000 in it, and you just need to trade and see what you can earn. So every trade that comes in, we're getting real-time data. Our prices are updating. You can see how you're doing. And it moves even faster than it looks like in this picture here. You can make trades and buy and sell. Right now, you can only go long in these stocks. My next iteration, I'm going to give you the ability to search for any stock you want to and add that and really see how you can maximize your earnings with the portfolio you want to. Again, I'm Reece Walter. I'll be right over here at this table under the bell. And if you want to talk to me, I'd love to speak with you. All my contact information is here, and I appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Good afternoon. Thanks everyone for coming out and sharing your support for me and all of my colleagues. My name is Russ Wheeler. A little bit about me before starting this boot camp. I was an electrician. I spent 16 years as a journeyman electrician and project foreman. Towards the end of my career as an electrician, it just wasn't quite as fulfilling as it was when I first started. So then I started researching, what's something else that I'm interested in? What's something that I could be creative in? What's something that's challenging? And I came across software development. And then I found out about Awesome Inc. and thought, after researching them and what they're all about, that this is a great way to transition into a new role. So that's why I'm here with you today. So my project is called Lucid Postcard, and my inspiration from this came from me. I just love traveling and I love keeping up with my family and my friends. So what this is an application that you can use on your phone. Say you're in the Grand Canyon and you want to send your family members a postcard, a physical postcard. All you need to do is sign up for an account. I have very simple instructions. You can upload a photo, choose a photo, and then enter a message, your recipient's name and address, and create the postcard. And then using a Printful API, what it'll do is it'll send the order to them, and they will fulfill that order and send a tangible postcard to anywhere in the world. Now, in future iterations, what I do want to do is add the Printful API, shopping cart, way to pay, and that's my final project. So again, my name is Russ Wheeler. This is my contact information, and I'm going to be right here at this booth if you'd like to speak any further. Thank you for your time.
Hey, my name is Chance, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and the project I've been working on. So prior to the boot camp, I graduated from Eastern Kentucky University with a CS degree, and I wanted to continue my education in full stack development. And so I heard about the boot camp, and so that's exactly what I've done. So what I've created is a simple messaging app. And so my inspiration for that was I've always been intrigued by online communication between two users. And I've always wanted to know how that works. So that was my goal in this project. Right here, what we've got is, this is the main setup, the flow of the project. So you've got your conversations page when you log in, and you can go in and you can see all the users in the database. So you can go in and start a chat with any of them. If you know who you want to talk to, you can search up their name. And so just like messaging on an iPhone, it's got a very similar layout. So the messages that are being sent from you are in blue, the messages you're receiving are in white. So right here, here's a demonstration of it happening in real time. So I've got two clients open. I send one over here, comes through on the other end. So that was my goal, was to learn more about online communication and how that works. So in doing boot camp, I've learned a tech stack to make that a reality. And so my favorite thing about this project is that it's perfectly scalable. So my original intention was to actually make this some kind of checkers or tic-tac-toe client, but due to time constraints, I settled for just simple messaging. However, in the future, I could, without much trouble, add a tic-tac-toe game and pass data through that interface. Yeah, so if you want to learn more about what was involved in this, you can find me over there, and there's my contact information. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jimmy Chang, and today I will be talking about my project, We Plan. And before the boot camp, I worked in my family's restaurant in Harlan, Kentucky. And kind of growing up, I was behind this restaurant counter. I had this old desktop, and like every day, like technology was just like ingrained into my like livelihood, I guess. And I wanted to be a part of that like movement and how like technology influences the world. And so growing up, I had my good friend Abram. He introduced me to the software world, and he showed me Code Wars, where you could like have these coding problems and like challenges, and that kind of like introduced me. And then so after school, I heard about Awesome Inc. and their wonderful boot camp, and how it was like an excellent way to like jumpstart my career in software. And so now I have created my project We Plan, which is kind of like Google Calendar, but I wanted to have like a social aspect to it. And so the problem I have, maybe a little biased, but like if you have all these group chats and you want to make plans, like there's a lot of notifications. You don't want to have to keep up with everybody texting, everybody just sending nonsense, I guess, and distract you from your work. And so you might still want to be a part of like the plans that they create. And so what I wanted to do is have where you could have your groups and like it's like one big collaborative space. And so you'll be able to make your group and then you can invite registered users by their email. And right now I have a bit of a bug, which is like my emails get sent straight to your spam folder, but I'll try to work that out. And so right now you can click on the calendar and it's really easy. It's just like Google Calendar where you can click on the screen and it pops up like this little box that has all your event details. And then you can choose all the groups that you have already, that you're already a part of. And when you make a group, I wanted it to be like, if I put, I want to go rock climbing Thursday night and everybody else in the group gets like a notification where it's like, Jimmy wants to go rock climbing on Thursday. Would you like to join? Just like simple, but like effective notifications. And then I want to, in future iterations, I want to have more of like user customizations to like, if you wanted to have notifications pop up if you have like overlapping events, or if you did, maybe like you want all your family member events to pop up anyways because they're very important. And that is what I hope to achieve. And a lot of great projects from everyone in this cohort. I'm really proud. And you'll find me over there by the window, and you can reach me here also with these links. And so thank you.
All right, great job, Jimmy. And love to give one more round of applause for all of our student presenters today. So great job, everyone. So that wraps up the presentation portion of Demo Day. So I want to talk about a couple of things before we break. So contact information, again, for those folks who are in person, you'll be able to grab that at the demo tables around the room. For those of you joining remotely on Zoom, we'll paste that link again to our program guide in the chat. And for anyone who registered for the event today, we'll be sending you a recording of these presentations as well as those links. For those of you who are joining us today, we have some folks who are considering doing the boot camp in the future. So our next cohort runs in the fall, starts in December, and our applications are open through mid-July for that. Stephen, any other announcements that starts in August? Sorry. So we start our onboarding begins remotely in August, and then dive in person for that. All right. So thank you all again very much for joining us today. Thanks to everyone who tuned in on the live stream. A special shout out to all of our alumni who've been in these shoes before and who are now out working in software development jobs. So very excited for this group to join you. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Take care. Thank you.